Okay, I think we should get started. Again, to make sure if you're on the right call, this is the Vivid APM Practitioner Forum for October. Our group of SIG leaders for the BSM group are listed here. Jim Copio, Bill Allen, Mark Laird, Sandy Schubert, and myself. I'm Rocky Pisto. I'm hosting this call until Jim Copio can get out of a traffic jam, and then he'll take it from there. If you get it as if you're attending this call, you are a Vivid member. I would recommend that you become part of the BSM SIG. A lot of activity coming through here in the next 6 months from HP, and to keep you aware of a lot of things that are going on. It'd probably be good to be part of our SIG. This is a live session, and it's being recorded, so if you can't make this call, you can click on it after in the next day or so and get a feel for the content of the call today. Again, it's basically a call where practitioners call in with questions or thoughts or concerns or whatever the topic may be around BSM and the related technologies in that space. To ask a question, feel free to enter it in the questions panel on the right-hand side. There's a webinar control panel that you can toggle your view to either see the presentation or see the panel, and you'll see an area for questions, and we'll try to monitor those as well. The way this call works, just like it did when it was under HP, is that first one that wants to ask a question, put in your question, and we will get to that question and have a discussion around it. Or I will go down the list of attendees and give you an opportunity to speak. Well, currently, everyone is muted from what I can tell, but we can open it up as we go to that person so that we don't get a lot of static noise of people en route or wherever they may be. So again, just for those of you that may be new this month on the call, last month we took it over from HP. They've asked us if we would volunteer the time to run these things, and we've decided that we would run it through the BSM SIG because it's relevant to what we do here in the SIG. And so the OM Practitioner Forum has been merged into as well into the APM Practitioner Forum, and we've moved it here to the BSM SIG for Vivid. And if you're not familiar with Vivid, we're the independent HP software user group, which makes it a perfect home for this. We've been around since 1992, 93, 94, in that range. It's been about 20 years. We were originally the OpenView Forum. So if you're on this call, you probably have experience with OpenView. And this SIG has grown dramatically over the last couple of years as a consistent home for a lot of customers and practitioners using the tools. Vivid, the SIG group today is made up of about 5,800 members worldwide. We hope to see you folks if you come to the HP Discover events. Make sure you come to our booth. We will be in Barcelona this year, the first week of December. There'll be a Vivid booth there. So as members of Vivid come on by, we've got something to share with you and make you part of the family. Vivid has grown dramatically as well in the last 12 to 18 months. We're up to 24,000 software members at this point worldwide. There are local chapters around the world, currently roughly 76 chapters. That's where people tend to get together in person to share best practices, to learn what's happening from an HP perspective, partner solutions, and just overall, people to talk to in the real world to share, how they're doing with the product, the updates, next, solution update as well. So if you're not part of a local chapter or there's not one in your area, talk to us. It's pretty simple to become a chapter leader, to start a chapter, and we'll make you a leader for your region, your country, whatever it may be. And it's a great way to network with your HP counterparts in the region, with customers in the region, and it's just a great all-around networking opportunity for you to become a leader. That's my plug. So what is the Practitioner Forum? It provides you a unique opportunity to share your experience and learn from other like-minded practitioners. So this call is really based on working or sharing best practices around anything in the BSM suite, from BSM, NNM, OM, all the OMI, all those related tools that we've been practitioners doing this. And the SIG leaders that make up this group, we've got years and years of experience. Some of us are partners, some of us are end users, but I could safely say that we all came from the OpenView world and evolved with the HP technologies as it became the current APM BSM environment. Okay. So again, a monthly call to talk about best practices, strategies, and basically every person around the table, if you will, in this virtual environment gets a chance to join in, ask questions, to share best practices, thoughts, ideas, and try to elicit response from other members on the call. The whole goal for this session is to facilitate a discussion, nothing more. It's not about an actual presentation of any kind, but just sharing thoughts. So, and you can see at the bottom of this slide, our next call will be December 9th at 11 Eastern Standard Time. So if you didn't make this call and want to attend and ask questions, or you've got some concerns on your implementations, feel free to reach out. And to get future news on what's happening with HP or with our SIG group, here's a link to that. If you want the slide deck, we can share that with you. And we're ready to go. So let's see, is there any questions to start the conversation? Let's see, questions, let's see. It looks like we've got a few here. Let me just, questions, here we go. I want to pop it out here, that way we can see them. So it looks like we have a question from Francesco Valerius. I'm great with names. And you know, I'm Italian. You think I could say that name easily. What is the best way to troubleshoot OMI tool issues? Is there a log file we can check? The error messages are so generic. Do we want to take that call or take that question? Does anyone want to address that? I know that we have some HP folks on the call as well. Let me just take a look here. Attendees. Can you please bring this in order? Oh, that was Stephanie, right? So another related question under launch and tools. So we don't have an answer for you right now, Francesco, but please open a support ticket. So that's feedback we're getting from HP.
Would you like me to unmute Francoise?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, Francoise, I'll unmute you. Here it comes. I hope I said your name right. Okay, you're unmuted.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, good. Sorry about that.
Not a problem. Yeah, pretty much I was just asking, we're trying to create a couple of specific tools for OMI, and we're running into issues, and then the generic message, is just totally useless. So I was just wondering if people had some experience with troubleshooting the tools when something goes wrong with the tool itself. Because the same tool in OMW works properly, and then I just take the command I want to use and apply it directly to a specific CI, a Windows node type of CI. I created the tool for a Windows node type, and unfortunately it does not work, and there's no real useful error to troubleshoot. So yeah, I was just wondering if you guys ever run into that issue.
So you're running from an integration of OM Windows with OMI?
Correct. But
okay.
Because there's no way to launch directly OMW, unless someone else explain me there's a way. As far as I know, there's no way to launch OMW tools within the OMI console. So I was recreating some of the useful tools we had in OMW.
Sure.
And copying the exact same command that were working properly in OMW did not work in OMI. And as I said, I assigned it as a Windows node type, which I thought was the good thing to do. And when there's a Windows node message that comes in, I want to be able to do a right-click launch tool and then launch that specific command. But unfortunately, it's
not the same.
Yeah, no, it's not working. It complains. It says something went wrong, but it doesn't say what. I took a look through the logs. There doesn't seem to be any specific log for that, so I'm kind of lost. So.
Has anyone else had that experience on the call today? If you do, just raise your hand and we'll unmute you, I guess. The response we got from HP is that make sure you put in a support ticket if you haven't done one already, and see where that takes you.
Okay.
You're paying for support. Let's leverage that as much as possible. At least you start getting ticket generations, and it's a great way to kind of track the problem.
Yeah, honestly speaking, I don't know what are your experience with HP support, but on our side it's very painful, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you bring up a great topic, support, and we've been working closely, at least from Vivid perspective, for members like yourself on trying to improve support. And it's gotten better through the years, and we've got, my experience is that we have, if you're not getting the results you want, that there are workarounds, get to the duty manager kind of thing.
Yeah, I know all those steps. Personally, I've been working with the HP tool since 2000, and support used to be better than that. It got worse, and then it got a little bit better, but it's still worse than it was before. Because in between 2000 and, I don't know, 2005, it was better than that. But
well, there's been a lot of, some of the issues that were taking place back then, just like with the world economy, there was integrations where they acquired all these different tools and trying to build them into one support mechanism. And it was ugly for a long time, but it seems like they've made progress. They've got some, they're bringing some consistency now into the support mechanism. So, you can send me an email if you'd like, and I can connect you with, at least from the world global type folks, to guide who can take care of you in your region. But my email address is Rocky, ROCKY, .Pisto, PISTO, at PCITROY.com. That's PCITroy.com. And I'm a partner as well. And, we can try to see, depending on what country you're calling from, who the right people to talk to in your area to sell, at least guide you on how to sell some of the stuff.
We're in Canada, so it's pretty much the same as you guys.
That's easy.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much.
You bet. Hopefully we can get you going. Next on our list, if there isn't any other questions right now, is Gordon Voss. Can we unmute Gordon to see if he's got any questions or concerns?
Gordon, you're unmuted.
Hey, I'm just here to listen and kind of learn anything, so I don't have any questions. Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Gordon, where you from?
Monument, Colorado.
Okay.
Colorado Springs, basically.
It's a beautiful place. What tools are you working with?
I work for HP and sell this suite to customers in Minneapolis and Wisconsin.
And what tools do you work with from HP?
All the icon tools, so from Service Manager to OMI to any of the application or any of the monitoring tools.
Okay. And how long you been using them?
About 8 years.
8 years?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you. Something comes up, just ask a question.
Will do. You did say something about slides, and I can see kind of the opening slide, but I didn't see anything else after that, so I'm not sure if anyone else has seen the stuff you're putting out or not.
The only slide that's up right now, it's called practitioner discussion. It's just a blank slide.
I got that. Thanks.
Yeah, there's nothing else out at this point. It's because we're not presenting anything other than just sharing information between us. So you're good.
All right.
Thanks,
you.
Gordon. You bet. Definitely. Let's go to Leanne Holliday.
Hi.
Hi, Leanne.
Hi, how are you? I'm basically very new to the BSM area and basically I'm looking at reporting in there. So I just thought I would do this to see if I could glean any additional information.
Yeah, and reporting is going to be a big thing. The HP's got reporting tools today, but it's going to get more sophisticated here with the next version that they'll be announcing, I think, at HP Discover in Barcelona the first week of December.
Okay, great.
So you'll be seeing a lot of stuff coming in the future from an executive level kind of thing and beyond from what I'm hearing. There'll be a number of webinars lined up for BSM to come through Vivid monthly. I think we've got one coming through mid-November and beyond. So we got one lined up for November, December, and I think February, where they'll be announcing some of the things that are coming out of Barcelona, if you will, and for new things in the BSM space and reporting and that kind of thing. What tools do you have today?
Right now, well, we're a partner with HP, so we actually have a lot of their tools, and we support a lot of their tools. So from PPM, predominantly the project and portfolio management.
Are you part of that PPM SIG?
No, and that's interesting because I was wondering if there was a PPM SIG.
Yes.
I'm going to have to as well.
That'd be great, and HP is starting to do some marketing with PPM, which they haven't done much with us in the past, and trying to get organized in that route. So maybe you'll start to see more of a consistent message coming out of the PPM group as well.
Oh, good, good.
Rocky, just an update on from some of the things that went on at the ITSM forum in Berlin 2 weeks ago. So PPM is going to become part of the service and portfolio management service, I think, going forward. So it's actually going to get, there's going to be PPM and Service Manager and Asset Manager all going to become part of the same core family, I suppose.
That makes sense.
So it might be maybe something that we actually think about in terms of SIGs as well, whether we align the SIGs to,
Yeah.
you know. But anyway, yeah. So the PPM is going to become more into that group of solutions, which would be interesting. I think there's some neat stuff coming down the line.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. You know, we have a great time juggling as HP keeps reorganizing their products into different pillars. I think that's what the new term is now, called pillars, instead of domains or whatever. But so yeah, APM, or not APM, but SPM, service management, service portfolio management has become a pillar where all those tools are coming into. So thanks, Mark. You know, I'm looking at questions here. Back to Francis here. NNMI and BSM or UCMDB integration best practices. Is it better to integrate NNMI with BSM and then send it to UCMDB, or NNMI with UCMDB and from there sent to BSM? And I think our resident HP expert is saying there's no single correct answer. Let's discuss that over a call and come up with some ideas. So that's good. We're trying to answer questions on the fly.
Yeah. So do you want to answer that question now, or?
Well, it looks like the feedback I'm seeing. Is this Francis again?
No, it's Asaf.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. That'd be great.
Sure. So that topic is something that we're familiar with, this kind of question: what's the best practice to integrate topology from NNMI? And as I said, there is no one single correct answer. It's not like it's like a chicken soup recipe. There is no one correct way to make chicken soup. It all depends what's the use case, the main use case that you're going to use NNMI for. If it's mainly meant for monitoring purposes, the best practice is to integrate NNMI with BSM for topology. The reason behind that best practice is that when NNMI discovers the new device, it might trigger event on it to OMI. And you want that event to be useful for correlation, to run actions. It needs to be an actionable event. But if OMI won't have the CI to resolve that event to, then that event becomes useless. It won't have a related CI to it. There are some workarounds. You can create CIs automatically in OMI, but as a best practice, and you're asking what's the best practice, the best practice is to send the topology to RTSM directly. This direction is near real time, so within almost 20 seconds you will see the CI in RTSM, which means the event that OMI will receive will resolve to that CI. If you are integrating, if you need the network topology later on for CMDB to be able to share it with other sources like Service Manager, or if you want to do impact analysis or change management, send the topology from RTSM to CMDB. It's a bidirectional integration for topology, so it's definitely something you can do. If your main use case is more around impact analysis or to know the network configuration, then you can integrate NNM to CMDB. By the way, with the latest release of NNMI 10, we are also now supporting the same push mechanism that was available only between NNMI and RTSM. We are now also supporting it from NNM to CMDB as a push mechanism, again near real time. And it will also align the topology, the CI type that the integration is creating, and the old integration between NNMI and CMDB, which created the strong typing CI type like switches, routers, firewalls, etc. That integration is deprecated, and our best practice now is to do the push integration. So I hope it clarifies. Another idea to consider is also depending on your network topology size. Keep in mind RTSM scale is limited to 5 million CIs and relationships. If your environment is going to be too big or RTSM is populated with other sources like OM, Sitescope, BPM, RAM, etc., then the RTSM size will be limited and you don't want to overpopulate RTSM with all the network topology, and then in that case the best practice is to integrate NNM with CMDB and then filter only the relevant topology that you need from CMDB into RTSM.
You're touching a very good point. We want mostly to use it for monitoring. The main issue we're seeing right now is that there's a lot of unmanaged interfaces in NNN, and we still believe we should have them in UCMDBs. Right now we have integrated NNN with BSN, but we're wondering if that was a good move, specifically because as I just mentioned, there's a lot of interfaces in NNN that are unmanaged. So the information that would have been transferred from RTSM to UCMDB would be missing some interfaces from NNN. If we were to add all the NNMI interfaces, because right now we're using a filter, if we were to remove that filter and let pass every single interfaces, even the ones that are not managed, that would add up about probably 150,000 configuration item to our TSM, and we fear the impact it would have on the performance side. Now, my question: you mentioned that 10 now has an integration for both. You can have both at the same time, so it would be
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
The push technology is now supported both for RTSM and for CMDB, but at a single point of time, NNMI can forward topology to only one or the other, not both.
Okay, so it's still a question of choosing. So you still have to choose between both of them.
Yes.
Okay.
But NNMI 10 also supports much better topology filtering capabilities. So you can decide, for example, which CI types you want and which CI type you don't want. If you don't interested in boards or other layer 2 connections, stuff like that, you can filter that. So the integration is more comprehensive and allow you to do better filtering of what you're sending from NNMI to RTSM or CMDB.
Oh, okay, so it's still not possible to say RTSM send this and UCMDB send that. It's either UCMDB or RTSM.
Correct.
Yeah, so we would like to have all the interfaces if possible. So that means probably in order as to not have too much CIs in RTSM, it would be better to send it to UCMDB. But the danger, as you mentioned, is that when you receive events or alarms or whatever you want to call them, messages from that node, if UCMDB and RTSM has not been synchronized yet, there would be no CI to resolve to.
Correct.
And thus affecting the correlation. Okay. So what kind of performance impact are we talking about having 150,000 configuration items to RTSM? Is that, considering that we have about, total it would probably give us about 250,000 K. You mentioned the maximum is 5 million, so if we have a decent server, we should be able to easily cope with 250,000.
250,000 is not a problem. So with regarding to RTSM capacity, there are two numbers you need to remember. 5 million CIs and relationships. So if we are taking an average of 5 relationships to a CI, we usually are aiming to have around 800,000 or 1 million CIs, and the rest are relationship. There is another number to keep in mind that monitored CI, which means CI that can have a KPI and be visible in service health, in top view, and so on, you can have up to 600,000. But if you said you have only 250,000 CIs, I don't see a problem.
Especially because out of those 250,000, 150 won't have any KPI because we're not managing them. Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you. That was helpful.
Sure.
Great. Appreciate the question. I think we had one more related to that came from Nicholas. Did I hear right? You can integrate NNMI with BSM and then send the layer 2 topology to the CUC-MDB.
Yes, definitely you can do that.
Okay, great. Let's, Stephanie, let's unlock or unmute Brian Lynch. I know he's got a question here, but I always love if we can get it voice-wise. That'd be great. Brian, you want to ask your question again?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Basically, we are looking at some competitors in the field in synthetic monitoring.
No.
And well, I go back to the late 80s, early 90s when it was Mercury Interactive, so I have a very long history with the HP software tool. So we are looking at the claims that the client-side, browser-side scripting tools for the performance KPIs are very important these days in the quote-unquote modern applications Web 2.0 world. And although it's been a long time since I've done scripting on my own, I believe that the HP tools are strictly protocol-based, and I'm not sure how much they get into the client browser side. I'm wondering how you guys, if you could discuss that or compare that.
Asaf, you want to take that?
Sure, yeah, I can take that one too. So the next generation kind of Vusion is a protocol called True Client. And True Client allow you to record a synthetic transaction from your browser, Internet Explorer or Firefox. It's a kind of plugin that you add to your browser, and then it records all the actions that you are taking. And the cool thing with True Client is that it's also understanding the asynchronic transaction, all the AJAX stuff that happens in the background, that Vusion with its HTTP protocols or the rest of the protocol was a little bit lack of capability. So if you want to record a synthetic script which will mimic the whole client to server experience, including to capture scripting languages, then you should use True Client. BPM can replay True Client scripts. With the latest version, by the way, of Vusion 12, you can also transform your True Client scripts to Vusion scripts, which you can then take to your application development team to run in Load Runner or performance centers, which is Vusion-based tools.
Yeah, they have, I guess, we have still a lot of Flex-based applications, and even though we have very experienced VUGen scripters in both, in load testing and synthetic monitoring, they have to do a lot of tweaking to get that to work for Flex. So that was a gist of the question.
So I think with True Client, it will be almost transparent to them.
Yeah. So is True Client, is it a memory hog, or how does it work on the BPM agents?
It's the same as Vusion scripts.
Okay.
There is no significant difference between them.
Okay, thank you. I think I'll have to take that to the team and see if we can start leveraging that a little bit before we move.
Good
If
question.
you just want to play with it and see how it's working without making all the all the changes in your environment, you can create a test account in AppPulse Active, which is the SaaS-based solution for our synthetic monitoring, and you can then read all the steps on how to record your transaction with TrueClient. I think after you created the user, it will take you between 5 to 10 minutes to deploy the transaction.
Okay, could you actually send that to me? Not sure what you're referring to.
AppPulse Active is the name of it. I just posted it in the forum.
On the question screen. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think we've got a webinar lined up for that coming up this month from HP as well, to kind of talk about AppPulse and what that's all about. So, you know, these are great questions, because there's a lot of technology that you may not be aware of that is in some of these products, or is coming here shortly. So now's a good time to start looking at them again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, just from my years of experience in this space, which is with HP software is over 20 years myself, from a marketing perspective. I'm just seeing that a lot of people just we don't dive deep enough into some of these tools to leverage the functionality that may be there, and whether it's lack of time or just getting done what we need to get done. But there's a lot of stuff in some of these tools, and they get complex. But you know, we're IT professionals, and if it was simple, we wouldn't be here, right? We want challenges, so take advantage of it. Thanks for the question.
You're welcome.
You know, let's go to let's see, we've gone down there. We've already talked to Gordon. Now, how about Jay Joshi? Can we open? Jay, have you got any questions?
I do not have any questions.
And what's your experience in the space? Do you work with the tools?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm actually a HP employee, and I am an ESC with the HP software side, so I'm here just really listening only mode.
And what do you do at HP software?
I am an SA in the BSM space.
Okay.
So,
what region?
Mid-Atlantic. So currently I'm covering accounts like Comcast.
Okay.
And I know I had asked some of them to join the call if they can make it.
No, that's great. I mean, guys like you, we like having on the call, because we like to tap into your resources. We have, for example, from a Vivid perspective, we have a Mid-Atlantic chapter that gets together on a fairly regular basis, and you know, especially in you know, if we have something going on in the BSM space, make sure you're a Vivid member and tap into the Mid-Atlantic chapter is a chapter that you want to stay in tune with, and you know, leverage you guys to come in and talk about what's new in that space for that physical location area. So that'd be super. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Did we talked to Leanne, so we're good there. Let's see. I'll go down my list here. Let's unmute Matthew Smith. Matthew, do you have any questions? Matthew, there? Okay.
Matthew's unmuted. He may be muted.
He may be muted on his side.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to Matthew.
Okay. And let's go back to Nicholas here for a second.
All right, Nicholas, you're unmuted.
How are you, Nicholas?
Yes, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I'm just, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I'm just listening in. I've got y'all's products. I use quite a few of your, I have NNMI, I have BSM, HP Operations Manager, SiteScope, then Reporter, Performance Manager. So I'm kind of just listening in to see how, just to get a feel of everything.
How long you been using the tools?
Operations manager about 5 years, 2 years for BSM, NNMI. USIM to be about 5 years as well.
Okay. Any issues that pop up that's got you frustrated or anything?
No, not right now. I mean, there's, I guess just like with 8, well, it's going out of BSM. Well, with BSM, I have issues, I guess, with the CIs that they'll get deleted, and I have to find out why. I mean, what the problem is on there when my syncs don't run right
In your environment?
in my environment.
Sure. Where are you located?
San Antonio, Texas.
Okay. And I know that we've got a number of physical chapters in different areas that get together in Texas. I'm not sure if there's much in the BSM space, but I know that from what I recall, service management, some of those other areas. So if you're looking to bring people together in your region to kind of share best practices, let us know. We can help you bring that together.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Nicholas. Let's see. Let's go to Nildri. I probably killed your name, but Nildri. Can you hear us?
He's unmuted, unless his headset's muted. Okay.
Any questions?
I don't.
I guess not.
Okay.
Let's
Meet you back.
Let's go to Peter Mann.
All right, Peter, here you go. Hi, Peter.
Hey, Peter. Can you hear us? I see a little attention thing. I'm not sure if there's an issue there or not. But hey, and then there's Rocky Pisto. I know him. How about let's go to Sastry.
Okay, Sastry, we're unmuting you. Hi, Sastry.
Sastry, can you hear us? I know Sastry, but I see that there's some kind of issue there maybe.
Okay.
And then there's Siri, but he's got the same issue. I'm not sure if he can reach us.
Try Shri. Are you there?
Shri? Nope.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh, there he is. Oh,
yes,
great.
I'm there. Hi,
okay,
hi. My name is Shri. Hi, my name is Shri Dikshitlu. I'm from San Jose, California.
Okay.
And I'm currently a partner, and I manage Alliances Software Group in from San Jose.
What's the name of your company?
Accenture.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, okay. Nice. Glad that I'm working. Okay, and I have almost 16 years experience on various HP tools, and I'm an old OpenView guy. I worked previously with HP, so I'm ex-HP guy. And I currently handling the cloud management solutions, basically implementations. And recently I have transformed one of our data center into a HP cloud-based data center, and I used SiteScope and all HP tools, including OMI, etc. So I'm started and joining in these calls because I wanted to learn and I want to share best practices if I come across when we complete the project, and we are nearing to the complete project.
Well, that'd be great. I mean, as part of the BSM SIG, you know, we try to put together virtual events where we have practitioners talk about, you know, their successes and those kind of things. So keep us in mind if once you're ready that you want to present the success you're having with HP Cloud in one of your customer accounts, we'll bring you on and we'll give you a full hour or 45 minutes to talk about that solution and the good, the bad, the ugly. That would be great, Siri.
Yeah, and I'm more actually involved on cloud assessments and IAS side, so we are using HP very heavily, and being a HP guy, I'm very happy.
Great, great. It's a win-win-win.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Does anyone else have any questions? We're getting close to the top of the hour for our call today. Jim, did you ever make it on site?
No, I did. You were on a roll, so I just kind of let it flow.
That's okay. Jim, I think Mark is going to run the next one. Maybe you can grab the next one in January. That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
He'll get snowed in then.
Mark, any feedback from your side?
No. For those of you who don't know me, I'm one of the chapter leads for the BSM SIG. So we're an HP partner based in Europe. Offices all over Europe, UK, France, Germany. I would suggest a lot of our company is actually running on top of HP software. So Service Manager, BSM, OM, UCMDB. Been using it for a long time. Ex-Mercury and ex-HP. And we sell it to customers. We're a service provider, so we're quite interested in things like the multi-tenancy capabilities and some of the new reporting solutions coming down the line. So
great. You guys have got a lot of experience with these tools. That's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Jim Copio. Just very briefly, for those who cannot make the Barcelona Discovery early December, once that's over, quite a few announcements on product enhancements, etc., will be made, which is very typical for the two Discover conferences. So when we meet on the 9th of December, we will make every effort to kind of capsulize all of those enhancements so we can be prepared to share them for those who cannot go. So extra special meeting on December 9 for this particular SIG meeting. I guess, Mark, you're going to run that, so you'll have a lot to talk about.
Yep, and I will be in Discover as well, so I might get a chance to meet up with a few people as well, so be good.
Awesome.
And again, if you are planning on being at Discover, make sure you come by the booth. We've got giveaways for Vivid members, and so that should be fun. Sri, your question about joining where do we join the BSM SIG, that's a great question. Stephanie put a link on it. Basically, when you become a member, a Vivid member, there's a whole profile I think you fill out, and you're allowed to select what chapters or SIGs you want to get involved in. But maybe we can send this information to you, or it should be answered there for you as well. Okay. Any questions or last thoughts from anyone? If not, I want to thank everyone for attending the call today. I think it's always great to share real-world experience, good, bad, or ugly. That's what Vivid's been doing now for over 20 years, and this is just another way for us to do that specifically in the APM space or the BSM space. So I want to thank everyone for attending today and look forward to your questions. Again, let me put back our slide for the, let's see if I can get there, to reach us. If you've got specific questions, feel free to reach any of us. Jim's on there at the top of the list, and I'm at the bottom. Mark's in the middle. Just feel free to reach out to us if you've got questions, and we'll try to get it answered for you via our contacts with HP. And Asra, thanks for answering the questions for us. That's great. And with that, I think we'll end the call, and we'll talk to you next month. Have a great day.
Sounds great. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day or evening.
Thank you.
All right,
Thanks,
take
everyone.
care.
All right, bye.